I'm still not totally convinced that they're going to go deep into this postseason, though. Size matters. Size will matter in this postseason. The reason why you might like the Warriors' chances in round 2 against the Lakers, should the Lakers make it there, is because they survived it. Huge game out of Jimmy Butler. Our very first look at playoff Jimmy wearing a Golden State Warriors uniform, and it was a great look. And they needed everything he gave them. Every rebound, every free throw, every point. They needed it all. He set a new play-in tournament record for the most free throw attempts in a game with 18 of them. Jimmy standing at the free throw line all freaking night long. And that is playoff Jimmy. Anytime there's someone other than Steph Curry leading the Warriors to a postseason win, it's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really beautiful thing. Steph Curry hit another in a career of signature three-pointers. He hits another. The guy has turned shooting. It's not even an athletic endeavor anymore. It's art. There is a level of artistry that, does get applied to very few basketball players. There really are some guys who just use their, beautiful movement. Normally, we're talking about the high flyers, the leapers, the Jordans, the Dr. J's when we talk about basketball artistry. Just the artistry of Steph getting off that shot, the gather step, the dribble, the step back, the way that he lets the guy fly past him. The defender does the blow by, and Curry just patiently pump faking, waiting. There's a hezzy dribble move. Curry's got a hezzy shot. He really does when he wants to go ahead and just tease you with it. And when it falls, it's just absolutely beautiful. That's the man right there. And that man got clutched and grabbed and held and pulled all over the court. And, not to jump too far ahead into this very show, but when we start talking about how this team matches up against the Rockets, if the Houston Rockets are allowed to bully Steph Curry the same way Pippen and a couple of other Memphis Grizzlies were allowed to just grab and pull and hook arms with this man who is the best in NBA history at running everywhere, relocating. It's a lot harder for him to get to where he wants to go if he has to climb through 3 bodies who are grabbing and untucking his jersey on the way there. It is amazing. I even put it out on Twitter last night. There's just, I think I put it up on YouTube this morning. Steph Curry getting mugged in broad daylight. There is an official staring at all of the action that I'm talking about right now. No whistle, no nothing. And look, I'm not calling for soft whistles. This is this level grabbing of Steph Curry happening like all the time. And then just no whistle. Steph Curry off the ball is more dangerous than him on the ball. Look at it this way. Steph Curry off the ball means there's a less likely chance he's going to turn it over in a big moment. And good Lord, if that's not Superman's kryptonite, I don't know what is. The way that the Warriors, they're, for a good basketball team, the Golden State Warriors' bad turnover and crucial possession ratio is absurd. It feels like if we have all decided sitting on our couches in our living rooms, this is probably a big possession right here. It feels like Pajemski or Curry's going to turn it over as much as they're going to get a shot off. Whatever Memphis tried to get away with, and they did. They almost came roaring back from 20 down late in that game. Draymond, God bless him, that guy survived a second half worth of foul trouble to make it through that game. And to continue to be Draymond and not lose, his edge playing in foul trouble, that deserves some, a note. Good job, Draymond. And what can I say? Moses Moody, that might be the best Mama Chewbacca dunk of his young career. That could be it's the most ferocious highlight of Moses's young career. That was an incredible dunk that he threw down. And Joe, this nut tapper, Dylan Brooks. Got to look out for nut tappers, man. Got to look out for nut tappers. And you are right, Erwin. Ime Udoka is trying to brand grabbing and holding Curry as a legitimate defense. And if you're asking how things could go wrong against Houston, it is Houston is allowed to bully the Warriors in a way that isn't even basketball. And that might be allowed. That might happen. I mean, if you're going to play this physical on every possession, you're not going to call it every possession. It's like one of those daring the officials. This is how the Legion of Boom basically played defense in Seattle in their glory days. They would commit a flag on every play. There's no way this entire referee crew is going to throw a flag on every play. So just play rough, play tough, and let it all come out in the dust. And I believe that that's the way Houston should play if they want to win. By the way, that is a viable strategy for the Houston Rockets, because even though they are the younger and better team, probably on both sides of the ball, when you start using NBA numbers and measuring, offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, if you just want to use something good and old fashioned, like what was your record? What is your seed? The Rockets are supposed to win this series, but nobody in Vegas is believing that. The Warriors are favored to win this series. Seeds be damned. Regular season records be damned. I'm still not totally convinced that they're going to go deep into this postseason, though. I mean, this thing just feels wide open. And in terms of the Warriors' playoff chances, as we look at how they've sort of culled their own roster with the benching of Kuminga, as they are definitely so extremely playing small ball, any team with some size that gets to keep that size on the court and throw it out on them. I mean, the Warriors are going to have to shoot 60-something% against teams that are bigger than them, because everybody's going to be out rebounding the Warriors from just a height standpoint, you would think here. Although it is a longer rebound, more guards picking up rebound league than ever before. Size matters. Size will matter in this postseason. The reason why you might like the Warriors' chances in round 2 against the Lakers, should the Lakers make it there, is because their size problem no longer plays in Los Angeles. The Lakers' size problem is now a Dallas Maverick. So I actually thought that the Warriors had a better chance to get past the Lakers post-Luka trade than they did pre-Luka trade, just, because it's all about matchups. Size is a tough matchup for the Warriors. And when they run into it, I eventually believe it will be what probably ends their postseason run. I also watched this team nearly hand it on back to Memphis, and Memphis, is an edge of a playoff team. They're going to face better competition. They're going to face better competition in this Houston team. And whether or not you can get what you got out of Steph and Jimmy over the course of a 7-game series is, did you win or lose that 7-game series? In any moment, the Warriors are built to beat anybody in this league, even tall teams, even teams with bigs that are out there. But 7-game series, man, that's a little bit tougher. So the Warriors are just going to need an ungodly amount of Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green success to lead the way. But let's be totally honest, there was no scenario where that wasn't in play, right? That was going to happen no matter what. Now, I want to talk about Jonathan Kuminga being disappeared by the Warriors in the 2 biggest games of the season. I'm not the biggest Jonathan Kuminga fan. I also am not the biggest Jonathan Kuminga hater or detractor out there either. I think it's incredibly disappointing that he remains nearly as raw as he was in year 1 now here at this point in his career. But even that raw or lack of basketball IQ that seems to be part and parcel of all Warriors' success, even though he is raw, he gives the Warriors something that really nobody else gives them, and that is a level of speed, athleticism, and talent at the size that he has. And I do think that Jonathan Kuminga, again, is he a bad matchup against the Clippers? Yeah. I saw the numbers too. I saw the point that was trying to be made by people who were defending that position, and how the, Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, 3 guys on the court does not work out well together for the Warriors. I've seen all that evidence too. Okay, it's real. I don't want to hear about how he would have gotten gobbled up by Kawhi Leonard. Let him go out and play against him. If he's having a bad night, get him off the floor. Beyond all that, Kuminga is 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, injuries kept him to only 47 games this year, and proof that life is timing. The timing of the injury that cost him the most amount of games walked hand in hand with the acquisition of Jimmy Butler. So while Jimmy was getting his Warriors sea legs underneath him and the team was figuring him out and how this all fit together, Kuminga was out of commission. And I kept on saying, look, Kuminga needs to come back and figure this out with Jimmy, because this is a different team, or he's not going to have a place on this roster. And Cyrus would push back on me and say, no. Well, look at what happened. Look at what has happened. You know, Steve Kerr, who is great at managing people, clearly does not give a rip when he believes this is a decision that's going to help us win in the postseason. Now, his decisions are not always right. What is amazing, though, is what Steve Kerr and the Warriors are doing to Jonathan Kuminga is the single worst thing you can do to an NBA player. Like, the Warriors are absolutely ruining Jonathan Kuminga over the decisions they've made in the last 2 games. Whether it be right or wrong to their winning equation, doing it quite like this, I think, is so dirty to Jonathan Kuminga. Again, he was 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. His injuries kept him to only 47 games this year, but this is a dude who has appeared in 258 games for the Warriors since being drafted. And now, in the 2 biggest moments, he's totally gone. Coach DNP. That is awful to do to a player. There is no way to rob an NBA player of all that he cares about faster than that. While the entire world is leaning in, while we've circled these games as priorities, you, who have been in the rotation all year long, are now 100% out, all the way out, forgotten, unusable. What that does to Kuminga, whose headspace has been a topic since he was drafted, what this does to Kuminga's age. I'm telling you right now, Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to play another minute for the Golden State Warriors, and I don't blame him. There's a part of me that almost says, you know, he should just fucking go home. Like, just go on vacation. Like, you're not going to use me? Screw you guys. It's freaking wrong. Thanks for watching. Tune into the Damon Bruce Show live on YouTube every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.